when I use Black Wall Street for an example, I'll get a crowd all hyped up. I've done this a couple of times. I just recently did it in Washington D.C. And everybody respects and yells to the top of their lungs about 1776. My God, that is awesome. That is cool. But we have to understand that we aren't helping defeat the root issues of gun control, because when I say 1921, everybody goes quiet, which is expected. That's cool. Now it's time to educate. Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma, was essentially a suburb of the city of Tulsa. It was a sector of it. Well established. Back then segregation was still a really, really big thing. So this black community built up their own community. It was very successful. There were a lot of these pocket communities around the country, but this one was just really a shining beacon. Schools, lawyers, doctors' offices, hospitals, the whole 9 yards. It was rumored that it took 6 months for $1 to escape that economy, because it was that tight. And the neighboring towns and the neighboring suburbs and everything were jealous of Black Wall Street. Long story short, a black shoe shiner is working in a building. He gets on an elevator. He accidentally bumps into the young white woman who's the elevator operator. He gets off running. She's screaming bloody murder. The police go arrest him. The townspeople, which they were still lynching a lot of people back then, the townspeople go, we're going to take him out to jail and lynch him. So the black gentleman from Black Wall Street stood in front of the police station and said, we'll have our lawyers fight the case, but you are not going to kill him. Right? And so they wanted justice. Well, because of the Army-Navy laws that kind of bled over from Tennessee into Oklahoma, which essentially stated that black people were not allowed to own handguns. You might be able to own a shotgun, maybe a rifle. We'll tell you what type, because you might have to go hunt, you might have to go do things like that. But you were not allowed to own handguns, and that was during the Army-Navy laws, bled over from Tennessee, part of Jim Crow. So a white gentleman, I use that word loosely in this case, walked up to one of the guys standing out front, and this is where history gets a little blurry, but it's very clear that the white guy looked at the gentleman who had a long gun, and he also had a handgun tucked in his waistband up front, appendix style. And he looked at him and said, hey, N-word, what are you doing with that gun? Looking at the handgun, because blacks weren't supposed to have handguns. Well, the gentleman in Black Wall Street had enough money to circumvent the laws. They had the money. And so a few of them did have handguns. However, the white guy tried to take the handgun from the black guy. A shot went off, and we don't know how the shot happened, but the shot did go off. The two groups started shooting at each other. They both went their separate ways. You would think at that time it's time for the police to go investigate, lock people up accordingly. No, that's not what happened at all. The surrounding communities, with the help of the local police and the state police, emerged on the 1 square mile radius of Black Wall Street, and in 24 hours eradicated it. Shot everybody, killed everybody, burnt it to the ground, took it off the face of the earth. When the National Guard finally showed up, they kind of stood by for a second. They disarmed all the white people, escorted them back home, because they were still looting and raping and pillaging everything in Black Wall Street. Even by the time now you got to remember, this is 1921. Imagine how long it took to get word to the National Guard, for them to assemble, and them to come there. Right? This is not like today where we can send a text message. So they were still pillaging and rummaging through the area, looking for more victims. But when National Guards get there, they're like, okay, guys, look, you got to go home. So they escort all the white people home, give them their guns back. They take their guns, escort them home, and give them their guns right back. Right? All right, Jim, you're in your house. Here's your gun. They go and they arrest all the blacks. They arrest them. And they put them in an internment camp. So a lot of people say, oh, the first internment camps in this country were the Japanese Americans. Very unfortunate, but not true. It was actually black Americans right in Oklahoma. They put them in internment camps. And the only way that you can leave that internment camp is if you had one of the white store owners who now have more business, because the businesses in that community were gone. Only way you can leave that internment camp is to have one of the white employers come say you're their laborer for the day. But you weren't really allowed to collect money because you had nothing to do with your money. So if you work for free, what are you?
Slave.
So you're a slave. So that's what they had them doing for them to help service and get their areas right. And then the local legislator, which is why I don't do politics, the local legislation wrote city ordinance and city codes, like the fire code was ridiculous to build a new building. Insurance requirements were just something that people couldn't afford. So they just made it impossible for them to rebuild Black Wall Street. And so it was nicknamed America's Black Eye. And unfortunately, it wasn't the only incident of this kind, but it was one of his that's more noted, if anything, in history. So at that point in time, you had white America converge on a black town, wipe it off the face of the earth, and at the end of the day say, oops, it's our little black eye, let's not talk about it. So it doesn't get taught in school. Even the first bombs being dropped, you can still see the grainy image of a state police plane dropping kerosene bombs on Google, on Black Wall Street, right? So when people say, oh, the first bombs dropped from the sky attacking America was Pearl Harbor, unfortunate incident, factually not true. It was in 1921 in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and it was done by the government via the state police.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have to understand when people are talking about restricting people's gun rights, I'm not the guy out there with the Mona Lay flag given 1776. I'm telling you, Black Wall Street, the last survivor of Black Wall Street just died in 2017. And that's what people have to realize. That was recent. It wasn't that long ago. It's not even 100 years ago. She just died in 2017. And even when you fast forward and you look at some of the gun laws, look at Jim Crow laws, right? And this is even foreseen, going past guns, but Jim Crow laws, of course, included gun restrictions. But you look at Jim Crow laws, and all the evil stuff that it said was okay. A lot of people are like, hey, guys, well, look, you got to just get over that, all right? It was a long time ago. Really? Was that a long time ago? Because it's kind of funny, because Jim Crow, technically, by law, wasn't written out until 1965. My mother was born in 1964. So you really mean to tell me it was that long ago? And mind you, my mom birthed at 13. She birthed me at 13. So I was born when Jim Crow was still floating around. It was just legally not recognized. But as we say with gun laws, you can't legislate evil. So even though you wrote it out of law, the evil wasn't gone. So I still felt the ramifications of Jim Crow. And so when people say, get over it, get over what? That wasn't even a generation ago.
What are some examples of what you felt and observed in your own life? Help people like me to understand that, who are born in, white bread Reno, Nevada, don't have that type of experience.
Well, one thing was I would go to this. So Union Station was every big city has a Union Station, right? So our Union Station was the place to be, right? It was expensive. That's crap. So I did a lot of window shopping, but it was the place to be. But I'm a 12, 13-year-old kid. I go down to Union Station, and at the time, even though it's in the middle of the city, predominantly it was a area that whites went, because that's just who could afford it. And I would go. If I walked past a store and looked at something for too long, you would have a representative of the store come out and tell me to move it along. I've been told that I can't afford things in the store. I have been asked by security, what am I doing here when I'm sitting on a bench eating? I have been escorted out of establishments because I was thought to be stealing just from showing up. I was told that with certain restaurants that clearly, especially now that I'm older, I'm like, you guys can have no stupid reservation policy. Oh, you can't eat here unless you have a reservation. Oh, well, can I make a reservation? No. Like, so you step back, you really start paying attention to it. And so it was a lot of restriction. Now, they couldn't legally tell you. You couldn't put up a sign and say no colors allowed, right? But you can use a sign that says we have the right to refuse service to anyone. Mm. See how things kind of, and then it's about the intent of the individual, right? So if I'm somebody that was born in Jim Crow law, say in the 60s, and in 1985, I'm 38 years old, 40 years old, and that's ingrained in me, well, yeah, I'm going to treat the little black kid that comes and wants to eat in my nice restaurant kind of mean. But I can't put up a sign that says no colors allowed because they'll fine us for that. Oh, the city might, shut us down. But I can put up a sign that says we have the right to refuse service to anyone. And then when I look at you, guess who I'm refusing service to today?
You still seeing that today?
Not as much. So I've only seen it on the news. I've definitely, now I've heard other stories, but if I'm going to give my own account, I haven't seen it much recently, last 10 or 15 years, but I will give you a prominent example how I was still relevant. But I've looked at the news a couple of times, and there were different store owners around the country. I forget what the last one I read about, but this guy put up a sign on his door and said, Negroes are not allowed in my establishment. I forget what that guy, it was like a bar. And it was a big deal in a small town. But he was like, yeah, he doesn't want Negroes. Then he went to expand it. I don't want Negroes or Spanish people in here either. Like, he just kept expanding it. And there are a few examples of that around the country. The other thing that we look at with the way that black communities are policed, and a lot of people like to say, well, it's false. It's not true. Statistically, white men are more victimized than blacks. Now, look, I'm not a victim of anything. I'll tell people that in a heartbeat. I'm a conqueror. I don't do victim mentality. But one thing that we have to look at is facts. Like, sure, there are more white individuals in this country than there are blacks. There's a reason why we're the minority. Duh. So, yes, the stats are always going to favor. Then you start breaking it down to percentages. But I always say numbers, men and women lie. Numbers don't. Stats depends on how they feel that day. Stats can just do whatever they want to do, right? So, but when you look at it, there is some imbalance. I worked for a PD for 10 years. I was in that facility. I understand what happened. I saw it firsthand. Now, are people going to lie? They're going to tell fake stories? Yep, that happens far too often. But at the same time, there is an imbalance. Could you imagine, and I'm going to say this to you, and it might be shocking to you, could you imagine getting pulled over while pumping gas?
That sounds impossible because typically gas pumps are stationary.
Mm-hmm. And normally your car is stationary while the gas is being pumped into the vehicle and stuff like that. So you're normally not moving. So how do you get stopped while pumping gas? Tell you an interesting story. I was with 4 of my friends. Now, look, we're kids. I was early 23, 24 years old. I got this brand spank new car. I got nice paint on it, big rims on it. We're having a good time. We're cruising the area looking for cute girls. That's what we're doing, right? And I pull over to the gas station because I needed some gas to keep looking for the cute girls. And there was a car full of cute girls that happened to be at the gas station. Well, these are the days where you have to go in and pay for your gas and come back outside and go back in and get your change. So my friends immediately get out the car because they see the girls. I'm like, all right, I'm going to pay for the gas. And so I go in. My friends are already over at the vehicle talking to the girls, so they're not even near my car. I am standing in line. I pay for my gas. I look back out of my car, and as I'm walking to it, there's a squad car behind my vehicle with the cherries on. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Now, I'm working at the police department at this time, but I'm not going to say that. So I just kind of walk back up to my car, and the officer is like, hey, whose car is this? It's like, it's mine. Everything okay? Well, yeah, you got your license and registration? Sure. Showed it to him. Well, you need to explain to me what you're doing. I said, no, I don't. And him still not knowing I'm a department employee. I said, no, I don't, sir. I was kind enough to cooperate to his point. No, I don't. Well, I want to know why it's 5 of you, I'm going to say Negroes, but that's not the N word he used. You have to explain to me why there's 5 of you in this car. And I said, because it seats 5. Because I'm being a smart ass, right? I'm like, well, it seats 5. He's like, well, there shouldn't be more than 3 of you in a car at a time. So, sir, I can have as many people legally in this car as I want to. As long as everybody can wear their safety belt, then they can be in the vehicle. The vehicle legally seats 5 individuals. I have enough restraints in the car for 5 people to be safe. I will transport 5 people in this vehicle at my will. Oh, well, yeah, all right, we don't see about that. So he starts to get on his radio and call for backup. And it was at that time, I said, okay, well, now, because I'm understanding that anytime you're gonna be involved with law enforcement, when you're off duty, you have to let your sergeant know. So I was like, hey, while you're doing that, please tell them my DSN is blah, 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 and they can alert Sergeant so-and-so that I'm having this interaction with you. Cancel the call. How come you didn't say that? I said, I shouldn't have to. Now, why did you stop me? And his exact words to me, you know, like I know, when there's more than 3 of you in a car, somebody's going to get killed. And I didn't know if they were even going to rape those girls. So this is a police department employee telling this to another police department employee. And here's the crazy thing about it. Not only did he stereotype us, not only did he pull me over while I was pumping gas, not only did all those crazy things happen, he was black.
Wow.
So it's more of a systematic thing than it is really a race thing. It was more of a systematic thing. So when people say that those imbalances don't exist, they're absolutely wrong. They absolutely do exist. But yeah, so it's America. We have to start paying attention to some things and really get on board with some of the imbalances that are happening. And I'm pretty sure. Look, if I was to talk, I'm pretty sure Black and brown communities have the same stories. I'm pretty sure they're very similar. But we have to get used to really listening to those stories in a different way. And there was something else you asked me, and I think I went off on a tangent. I forgot.
Well, I don't remember, but what I was going to ask is your opinion of this new hot trend regarding what's called implicit bias, and we're trying to train biases out of people. And psychologically, we just know that's factually untrue. There's no way to train out an implicit bias. All you can do is